On the debate tonight from Mumbai, I'm joined by Ranjit Kumar, Senior Lawyer of the Supreme Court, Vikas Singh, former Additional Solicitor General, Senior Lawyer of the Supreme Court, Chandan Mitra, Editor-in-Chief of the Pioneer and BJP Leader, Member of Parliament. My first question is to Subramanian Swamy. You know, of course, I must preface this by saying, I hope, Subramanian Swamy, you have not lost the earpiece, but okay, we are going to put that back. But I want to caveat this by saying, we are discussing only observations of the court. The court judgment is not there. This is just an observation of the court. Now, on this observation itself, Ranjit Kumar, let me ask you, does it establish anything in terms of, the thinking that's going on right now? Because Raja has always maintained that he has kept everyone in the loop on his decisions and his actions had their sanction. What does the Supreme Court observation then indicate?
No, normally in a court hearing, Arnab, the queries made by court are only to arrive at a just conclusion in the matter.
Exactly.
If there are queries raised and observations made during the course of hearing, we should not attach too many things to any observation made, because it may or may not form part of the judgment. After all, if the court is entitled to make queries while hearing a matter, and if the court is querying as to what happened and how it happened and when it happened and what happened and who did what, these are all queries to understand the matter and to arrive at a right conclusion.
Okay.
So I don't think one should attach too many things to observations of the court.
So if the court says, Subramanian Swamy, therefore, first response, Subramanian Swamy, if the court says, the scam could have been averted if action had been taken or something to that effect, it really amounts to nothing. The court is only asking questions right now. It amounts to nothing, says Ranjit Kumar.
Well, the court is asking a question which they are trying to elicit a response. And that means that the question has a meaning. They are not asking questions in the air. They are asking questions specifically whether Mr. Raja, had he obeyed or listened to the Prime Minister, could the scam have been prevented? Now you may recall that the office memorandum issued on the 25th of March 2011 also said that had Mr. Chidambaram wanted, the scam would never have taken place. So in effect, what is the truth is that these two ministers could have prevented the scam, but they went along with it, and there's enough adequate information.
Well, is that a conclusion you agree with, Vikas Singh?
I'll tell you, Arnab, my view is a little different, and I have been on this show several times before.
On this,
yes. I first of all always question the premise about the scam of the pricing scam. Secondly, you should appreciate that in a regime where you have a regulator, and a regulator is supposed to be an expert, and you also will appreciate that what has happened in the US is because of lack of regulator. Now you have a regulator which takes a decision. I can understand if the minister wants to disagree with the regulator, then definitely there would be some responsibility for the minister to take the finance minister in loop, the prime minister in loop, probably the entire cabinet in loop. But if the regulator has taken a decision, and if you want after the regulator, the finance secretary to take a different view, what vision does the finance secretary have as far as the telecom sector or the telecom
industry is concerned? So the regulator is the last word.
A regulator it's actually examining the sector, how the growth is to take place.
But that's not the question here, Mr. Vikas. That's not the question here, Vikas Singh.
No, the question is, that's why the question is, because it's actually, you are starting off by saying that there is a scam and this scam could have been curbed. My point is that if as far as the pricing aspect is concerned, there is no scam, because it's the common man who is benefited, and nobody is representing the common man. The tariff advantage that he has got.
Are you arguing very...
How is the common man benefited?
Are you arguing very... Chandan Mitra, is that a very technical argument? Because one way of looking at it, the court is basically saying the Prime Minister could have... He raised the question to Raja. Raja replied, Prime Minister acknowledged the reply. Are we seeing a corollary question? The Prime Minister could have been more assertive at that point of time, could have overruled what Raja had said, or set about a mechanism which could have overruled Raja on points of constitutionality and legality?
Well, first and foremost, you see, anybody who says the scam was good for the country, I think, you see, does not merit a serious reply. Second point, I think what we have been saying, what sections of the media, the Pioneer and your channel have for long been saying, that you see there was more than what meets the eye. There is a huge mystery as to why the Prime Minister's letter was overruled by Mr. Raja, why Mr. Chidambaram and his Finance Ministry changed its opinion within 7 days after a meeting with Mr. Raja. So what is very clear, and I can say it without fear of contradiction, that not only were the Prime Minister and the then Finance Minister complicit in the decisions that Mr. Raja took, but perhaps the money trail did not lead only to Chennai. Money trail may have led elsewhere also.
That's a very big charge. That's a big charge you make. That's a big charge to which I must get the other side in. You know, I must say, can Ranjit Kumar, Chandan Mitra raises the pitch on that. Of course, Chandan Mitra and Subramanian Swamy are both practicing politicians, so they will have a political angle to this. But can an act of omission be seen as an act of commission? Seems to be the defense emerging.
Yes,
Subramanian Swamy is amused by what I said. I'm coming to you, Mr. Swamy, also, but after Ranjit Kumar. Yes, Ranjit Kumar.
The law certainly provides that there can be, in a conspiracy to commit an offence, there can be an omission or a commission both. An omission done by which you are required to do, supposing there is an act which you are required to do, and you don't do it, so you omit to do that thing.
No, but
if you omit to do that thing and an offence is committed, then that certainly is a matter which is culpable.
No, on whom is
there is no doubt
war?
about it. An omission can also amount to a crime.
On whom is the onus?
That is not a problem. But I think that what you are discussing, the Prime Minister has already said that these are political compulsions of a coalition politics. That he has made clear already. What happened, why he did not take action against Raja, or what he did about Raja overruling him, that has already come in the press.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, I am only saying that, I am sorry, Mr. Ranjit Kumar is a friend of mine. How can he make this argument? Is it a compulsion? Is it a compulsion to allow open loot of the country? And if so, shouldn't the Prime Minister...
No, I am not saying that it is a compulsion to allow. I am not certainly favouring that what he said was right. I am certainly not saying that, but I am saying, as a legal man, I am saying if there is an omission, it is a culpable crime. Anybody can be charged with that culpability for omitting to do what he was supposed to do and did not do.
No, but an argument.
But I am only clarifying by the side.
No.
Please
One
I
second.
am only clarifying at the side that what Prime Minister has otherwise said.
Fine, I get your point. I get your point.
Please don't mix up the two. Please don't mix up the two. I am not mixing up the two.
One second. How can you?
I appreciate Mr. Kumar.
How can you completely? I have one question for Subramanian Swamy. How can you completely dismiss the argument made by Vikas Singh? You know, revenue maximization is not the revenue maximization. Subramanian Swamy is not the only purpose. No, you are smiling again. But you know, there is a larger purpose also, which is the argument Vikas Singh makes again and again.
I'm sorry.
Yes, okay, you respond.
I have to smile because there is so much ignorance around in this matter. First of all, let me tell you that those who got the license cheap, they sold it at 8 times the price that they paid to the government of India.
Right.
So, Etisalat and Telenor entered the picture that way. So did Docomo enter the same way. So where is the question of keeping the price low so that these service providers can give you a cheap rate for the tariff? Now, when they have already sold it at such high prices, the government could have sold it at those high prices.
No, okay,
so in fact the argument is strengthened that there should have been an auction.
I'll let Vikas respond
to
you.
First of all. Second,
let me
also make one more point. The regulator, let me say that the regulator did not say that the price of spectrum license should be at 2001 price. They said the entry fee can be, but then the spectrum, one-time charge for the spectrum should be auctioned. That has not been followed.
Because
spectrum was given free.
I have
It
a
was,
follow-up.
bundled with the like.
I have a follow-up for you, Subramanian Swamy, but I'll let Vikas Singh respond to balance this out. Yes, Vikas.
Yeah, I'll tell you on the first point first. You know, he says that the licenses were given at a cheap price and they were sold for a very high value. I don't know whether Mr. Subramanian Swamy is aware that out of 122 licenses that were issued during Mr. Raja's tenure, hardly 30% have been able to roll out services. And the rest are now saying, please return my money. So something given so free and so cheap, why would not everybody roll out service? Number one. Number two, Telenor, when the buy took place and Telenor came in the picture, they valued the business at 9,000 crore. Are you aware what are they valuing the business today? Today that same very business, Unitech is offering to pay back and saying that today the entire business is worth 400 crore. Because the sector has not behaved in the manner it was projected to behave, it has not behaved in the manner in which the expectation was for the sector to behave, and partly Mr. Subramanian Swamy is responsible why the sector has nosed out like this. And secondly, now on the second point.
No, one second, Chandan.
As far as
let me get Chandan Mitra in now. No, one second, because I'm running a little short of time. I'll let Chandan Mitra come in.
I'm really amused. I'm really amused that this argument can be made. That time was valued at 9,000 crore. They bought the bulk of the shares there. Now the market has fallen. It is valued at less. So we should be always sympathizing with these fellows who looted the country and where the government was deprived of the money, and we should go with the ups and downs of
now
the
there's another question. What, Chandan Mitra, I have a question for you.
According to
Chandan Mitra, my question for you and Subramanian Swamy is this, and I'm not trying to be provocative with either of you tonight. Doesn't the Supreme Court observation put a greater onus on Raja? Since it does indirectly say, depends on how you see it, as half full or half empty, that the Prime Minister did raise concerns and Raja overruled him. So, you know.
well, Dr.
Yes.
Swamy.
Mr. Swamy, you want to go first?
I'll tell you this, that yes, I'll go first. Raja may overrule the Prime Minister. God knows who encouraged him, who was higher than the Prime Minister who would have encouraged him.
PM
that is something to be examined later. Now, the Cabinet Minister would not have done it unless somebody higher than the Prime Minister had assured him, go ahead, don't worry about the Prime Minister. Now we'll worry about that later. The question is that the Cabinet decision of 2003 was that the spectrum license price would be decided by two ministers, the Finance Minister and the Telecom Minister. Now they were responsible. Supposing the Finance Minister didn't agree with the Telecom Minister, then what is the way available to the Finance Minister? There's a transaction of business rules, rule number 7 says when two ministers disagree, then a cabinet decision has to take place. Now Mr. Chidambaram, if he didn't agree with Mr. Raja in disregarding the Prime Minister, he could have easily written a letter, please call a cabinet meeting,
to which they can
he did not do. So in fact it is
the flip argument to that is that if the Prime Minister is to breathe down the neck of every minister in his cabinet and second guess their every decision and the motives behind it, how is any ministry supposed to function? I'm only playing devil's advocate. Chandan Mitra. No.
This, okay, you can play devil's advocate, but this is a very specious argument, Arnab, because this was not just any old decision. This involved hundreds and thousands of crores of rupees, which have rightfully belonged to the exchequer, to the people of this country. And the Prime Minister actually did kind of want to caution the minister. The Finance Minister of the time, Mr. Chidambaram, did warn and did say he disagreed with the way the pricing had happened. So what is it? What was that turning point? What was the game changer? Why did the Prime Minister keep quiet after that? Why did the Finance Minister concur with the Telecom Minister? What was the mystery? That mystery must be exposed.
Are we simply out of our interest in the story and the developments? Are we reading too much into a innocuous observation of the court?
No, we are not.
No, we are not. No, we are not, says Chandan Mitra. Ranjit Kumar, you think we are?
Well, I personally feel that observations in court are for deciding the matter. I have been practicing for 31 years and I know how the court wants to come to a right conclusion. It has a right to ask questions, it has a right to make observation, but the decision is yet to come, so one should not run to conclusions.
That's why I put a caveat right on top tonight.
Absolutely, you did the right caveat in the beginning.
I put the caveat right on top tonight.
No,
Absolutely.
the judges did not ask a question. They said, had the government acted, then there would have been no scam. They made a statement. There was no question.
No, but
Even if it is a statement, Mr. Swamy, the statement is in the course of a dialogue going on in court, as you know. You are appearing in court every day. In the course of a dialogue, if a statement is made, does it become the law? Does it become a judgment? Does it become a binding
It doesn't become a law. But it
does not. You know it, Mr. Swamy. You are appearing every day in court.
Subramanian Swamy is quiet, but he doesn't agree. But gentlemen, this is such an interesting case, such an important development. We're following all sides of the story, and I thank you, Vikas Singh, Ranjit Kumar, Chandan Mitra, Subramanian Swamy, for joining us on that important debate. And that's it on the News Hour tonight. Tomorrow with the big news and the relevant debate, I'll be back at 9 p.m. Till then, good night and goodbye.